Hi, welcome to SHOT Show 2022. I'm Steve here in the Brownells booth, and with me I have Vince Perot of Smith Wesson. And Vince has some pretty cool stuff to show us. Afternoon, sir. Good to see you.
Nice to see you.
We're all talking about carry guns today.
Yeah. So probably our big SHOT Show splash. First, why don't we hit on the new round from Federal? We have 30 Super Carry. So really exciting for them. They're looking at following the consumer trends of more rounds.
That's correct.
But obviously 9mm is king in that space, and what they've come to the table with is a round that's smaller in diameter, so we're able to get more rounds in the same footprint of the firearm, but it has the ballistics and the performance of 9mm.
How long has this round been in the making?
That's a good question.
Somebody kept it a secret.
Yeah, it was kept under wraps for a while. We worked closely with them, and it's always a little challenging with new calibers and kind of getting the adoption, but we threw what I would say our two best concealed carry platforms at it in the polymer space. We have the 30 Super Carry in our EZ model,
right,
as well as our Shield Plus. So both of these in the platforms and caliber variations that we've come to the market in so far have been really successful. So we thought if we want to really support it and see this caliber take off, we really believe in it, these are probably our best two to go to market with.
What I've heard, the shorthand version is it gives you, like, say 20% extra capacity,
yeah,
with near the performance of 9mm.
Yeah, absolutely. So a little bit softer shooting than 9.
Right.
And in the EZ, for example, you'll have 8 rounds in our 9mm magazine, and in the Super Carry it goes up to 10. Mm-hmm. And so we had a 10+1 in the 9mm Shield Plus. That'll jump to 12+1 and then 15+1 in the extended mag, which overall size, which is great, doesn't change. So these are going to be the same profile as our 9mm platform. So really easy to conceal, really easy to carry. But you get 15 rounds in an overall footprint like this.
Right, and Federal makes the HST round for this.
Yeah.
So you've got a really meaningful defense load there.
Yeah, they've done a really good job of kind of spreading it across a couple of their brands, and they really want to support it, which is awesome. And we had this at the range and had our guys test it, shoot it, and they all loved it. Everybody had great things to say about it.
How is it in the recoil? Does it feel much different than a 9mm?
It's definitely softer. It's more manageable for sure. And especially when you get it in the Shield Plus with the extended magazine, you get that little bit more of a fuller grip. That makes a huge difference. So
I believe it.
Yeah, the fact that you could get 15 rounds in something this size is pretty crazy.
With a red dot sight on it, no less.
Yeah, and this is from a Smith & Wesson side, something that we listen to. So we came out with the Shield Plus, had an optics ready model, and we went to the 4-point post mounting system. And what we've done with the Super Carry is just based on consumer demand and the need to kind of fit and accommodate Holosun's optics, the 507K, we've gone and migrated to the 2-post mounting system. So this is the first Shield Plus that's optics ready that will accommodate Holosun optics.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a nice trim installation there.
Yeah, it's very slim. It kind of fits the slide really well.
It looks like it belongs there, basically.
It does, and that's really important if you're gonna, and a lot of people are willing to carry with a red dot. They see the performance benefits of doing something like that and what it brings to when you're actually shooting the gun. But it's got to be comfortable to carry, or else you're not going to carry it. So by having little to no overhang on the slide when it's at 4 o'clock appendix, whatever, yeah, it's not going to be digging into your side while you're carrying.
In the last 5 years, I mean, we've seen a lot of guns come out with optic cuts in them.
Yeah.
Which used to be pretty much a rarity.
Yeah, I think we see that on the Smith & Wesson side, and we're always trying to pay attention to the consumer and really give them what they want. And so we're constantly adding optics ready variants to our product lines and trying to give basically people as many options as possible when they're selecting their firearm.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Speaking of consumer input, did that have anything to do with coming out with this little beauty?
So, yes and no. We, I will say as an industry, have neglected kind of the metal gun space. So for us, we thought that there was a great way to kind of innovate. it was kind of a stagnant category, I would say, and we wanted to get back in there. We have such a robust history with metal pistols as Smith & Wesson, and we obviously looked at what the motivations are for people, and concealed carry always rises to the top. And so we said, hey, let's go back in here, let's do it with a metal frame, but let's bring some of the 2022 consumer demands into this platform.
Okay.
So right away, we come in with 10 plus run rounds of 9mm in the flush fit.
That's pretty much mandatory these days.
Yeah, that's what the expectation is, and we want to make sure that we're giving people what they want. So it also does come with a 12 plus 1 round magazine, which is minor in how much additional grip length it provides, but we were able to jam another 2 rounds in there. So
wow.
Overall footprint of this gun is super small. It's smaller than the Plus, it's smaller than the EZ. So something that's really, really easy to carry. The frame itself is aluminum, so we wanted to keep it lightweight.
It is.
Didn't want it to be a burden.
It's a nice weight.
Yeah, and kudos to the engineering team, because what they did with this was it is fully ambidextrous. Everything about this gun is ambi. So you have ambi slide stops, ambi thumb safety, and it ships with 2 magazine releases. So you can put a left-handed mag release in the gun for left-handed shooters. But they were able to do it while keeping just around that 1-inch width.
Okay.
And so they were able to find a great balance between keeping thin controls, but controls that you can use and they function well. They're not hard to manipulate or get the slide to lock back or drop it or engage the thumb safety if you want to. So kudos to them, they really knocked it out of the park.
First thing I noticed about it was it has an exposed hammer.
Yeah.
It has a thumb safety and slide release like a 1911.
Yep.
And I kind of fell in love with it immediately just because of that.
Yeah, we wanted to kind of stay true to kind of that traditionalist mindset and what the metal guns represent, and hammer fired made a lot of sense to us. It also gives it a really crisp trigger, and so, when you have a gun this small, you want to have the performance to go along with it, because we want to make sure it's shootable. And so we've done some M&P textures, we mirrored her and moved those over. So it helps just get that grip so you can mitigate the recoil, but that shorter trigger pull, it just allows you to have less left to right deviation while you're pulling, so you can be accurate with this thing. And at the end of the day, that's really the most important piece.
I have about half a dozen M&P pistols actually at home.
Yeah.
And I love these back straps that swell out and fill my hand, because I got big hands.
Yeah.
And even a small pistol like this feels very comfortable and controllable to me.
And by default, it ships with that palm swell, but we do include an additional palm swell that is absent of the side panels here. And what that does is, for somebody who just wants a deeper concealment, maybe they have smaller hands, they can really size this down. So if I want a pocket carry, I can get the smallest profile I want, depending on how I'm going to carry that day.
Wow. So we got a new caliber in 2 guns, and we got a new gun in an old caliber.
Yeah.
If you don't want to leave your 9 at home, this is the one. But even these sights on here, the rounded sights on the back, the serrations and the slide, I mean, it looks like something out of the custom shop.
Yeah, no, we're pretty proud of it, and this is the first iteration that we've done, so I would say there's a lot of runway, and we're always going to be listening to feedback, whether it's through our social media or forums or platforms, or people emailing us, calling customer service. It helps us kind of figure out where the CSX goes from here.
Wow. Well, Vince, thank you very much. I really appreciate you coming
Thanks,
by.
Steve.
I learned a lot.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you for watching. This is SHOT Show 2022, signing off.